Hello and welcome to the Perth Gaming Crew. It's good to have you on today. We've had a few technical difficulties this morning, so we're already running out of time, but that's how life goes sometimes. How you doing, Pat? How you doing today?
Good, thanks, mate. And yeah, technical difficulties, definitely an understatement.
Yeah.
Like you said, that is how life be sometimes.
I think I felt like rage quitting this morning when everything just didn't work. It's like, internet's slow, computer's dying, what is going on here? But we're here now, so.
We made it, and we're going to do our best.
We are.
Incidentally, that was that Chun-Li's theme music?
You bet it was. Street Fighter V Chun-Li. Quite energetic, wasn't it, compared to the original track?
It was. It absolutely was. And to be honest with you, probably the only memorable game that is in state of play.
Yeah, I know. So there's viewers, listeners, there's a reason that song was chosen. Yeah, state of play. We'll come to the state of play in a second. Pat, I do have to add at the start, though, that we have to apologise to our listeners because we really did want to cover movie game tie-ins this week. And it looks like the bros at Nintendo had a chat to the bros at Sony and were like, all right, we've done our announcement. Go do yours. And they're like, yeah, PGC are never covering that. And away they went. They did a state of play just because we're on the internet now. So they're like, and they announced the state of play. So we can't do favourite video game movies of all time. One day, Pat. Is it a real dream? Is it a fair dream to have? Who knows?
It's a fair dream to have. And they're just hyper aware of our activities now, to be honest. So
that's true.
Just whenever they tune in that we're about to do that segment, they're just like, you know what, let's derail this. Derail this. We got something for you, BGC.
It's like right about now. There it is. And look, this is what Sony gets because, like Pat alluded to, so there was a state of play earlier this week. I think it was a day or two ago, Australia time. Mm-hmm.
Let's be honest, it was underwhelming. I don't even care if that's inflammatory. I'm just going to come out and say it. Yeah. That was weak.
It was
weak, Sony. I am so disappointed.
It was weak, man. It was weak. So I might start off with the announcements, if you call them that. What they actually did reveal. There was a heavy focus on PlayStation VR 2. Which is great that they're going ahead with that. I think that's the market they're trying to own compared to Nintendo and Microsoft. There are a couple of VR games that came out. I'm not into VR myself. None of them looked particularly like I have to go buy an $800 PlayStation 5 and then now I need to go buy $800 VR to play $100 VR game. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't feel the need to go pay almost $2,000 to play any of these games. So what was announced? Destiny 2 has an expansion, which is exciting for those players because that's got a big fan base. Resident Evil 4, which is not a console exclusive, but it's all over the PlayStation marketing. It's actually it's going to be an Xbox and PC. They had a bit of a gameplay clip and they said a demo is coming, but they didn't say when. So it was I thought that was a bit weird and especially with the game coming out next month. I think it's the 23rd. Mm-hmm. Justice League, kill the Justice League. Suicide Squad, kill the Justice League. That was the big one. I mean, that's been in development for a long, long time by Rocksteady, who's done the Batman Arkham games. So there's excitement behind that game, but I don't know. I'll come back to that in a minute. I feel I don't know about that one being the center of the show, let alone how excited everyone is for it. I mean, what else did they have, Pat? Yeah.
I was excited for it.
Now you're not after the state of play.
No, I'm not because it's a live service or something. So it's like, come on, it's a full price game.
Yeah.
How would it be a live service when it's a full price game?
We'll hold that thought, Pat. Let's get through the rest of the exciting announcements, or the non-exciting announcements. There was a game called Chia, which looks almost like a tech demo. Like, it looked nice. but I don't really know what it's doing. It looks like it belongs on the Switch, I thought, but it looks okay. I mean, I don't know that you need a PS5 to run that. Did you see
Yeah.
that trailer?
I did. Look, there's a few like I feel like we're gonna savage State of Play.
I think we should.
Now,
Everyone else
like,
is.
yeah. I mean, we're probably going to, but there were a few gems in there that I thought was, oh, that's a really cool game. You know, that's solid.
Okay.
But they're not the ones that people would be expecting.
Yeah.
But I guess we will cover that.
We will.
We'll cover that shortly.
We'll come to those. Street Fighter 6 had another trailer, hence our intro music.
Yep.
I think that's exciting for those fans because that's probably the biggest game this year for a lot of people. Again, for me, though, I find that interesting, just because it's going to be cross-platform. So, I mean, I guess there'll be people out there who think I need to get a PS4, PS5 for it. Yeah, and then there was a game called Humanity. Did you see that one, Pat?
Yep.
Like it was kind of like a Lemmings type thing.
Puzzle?
Yeah.
Puzzle.
Yeah, it kind of looked a bit... so it's from the makers from Tetris Effect and Rez, so like they'll make quality. Yep. That's good. Goodbye Volcano High. Yeah.
That looked all right.
You were into that?
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, it looked all right. Like adventure sort of indie game.
Yeah.
Looked like a bit of a life sim with some rhythm gaming components.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked all right.
It looked all right. Baldur's Gate 3. So that's coming to PlayStation 5 in August. That's probably a big one, I would say. And then there was a Naruto game, Ninja Storm Connections, which we were really excited about. So I don't know, like, Pat, do you want to... What thinking of those games and where Sony's at, like, what did you think of the state of play anyway?
Okay, here we go.
Deep breath. Deep breath.
Yeah, deep breath. Okay, so like we said, very underwhelming. I mean, coming off of Nintendo Direct and Microsoft's one, where they had like legitimately good presentations and legitimately good games coming out of them. Like Microsoft's one, they had Hi-Fi Rush.
Yeah.
For me personally, they had Hi-Fi Rush. Nintendo Direct had a billion things in there that we covered in a previous episode that legit almost a third of it I was hyped for.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh my God. And then you come to the state of play and it's like, oh, cool. Like, Baldur's Gate 3. Awesome. I am hyped for that. But Street Fighter 6, it's just very underwhelming. So I feel like they definitely lost this round, if that even makes sense.
No, it does. It does. Like, I get that. Yeah.
The VR stuff, like you said, it's cool. I don't have room for it in my house, and I feel like the only way I'm gonna be able to really enjoy a VR is if I get like an omnidirectional treadmill as well for that full immersion. Because I don't want to have to stand in one space and just like swing my arms around and accidentally break stuff.
Yeah,
don't have the room for it either.
Yeah,
it's cool. Like it's cool. I really want to try it, as in play it properly one day. So that's pretty much my overall thoughts on the state of play. Very underwhelming, very weak from Sony. I'm very disappointed because if any of you have listened to our previous podcast, you know I am a big Sony fanboy. PlayStation is my jam. That's my favorite console series ever. So this was a hard pill to swallow for me.
Yeah, and like you've got a PS5, right? Like you got one.
I do.
Did you get it last year, like when they were hard to buy in Australia, or did you like?
Oh, so
yeah, how'd you get it?
There's a story about this.
Do it. It's more interesting than the state of play, I tell you.
Nice. Little jabs to state of play.
Yeah.
So I got mine. I can't remember if it was last year or the year before, but it was definitely during the shortage. Definitely during the shortage. So I had a mate that worked with me, and he used to be... I don't know if I can reveal the story, but here it goes anyway.
Okay, okay, nice.
He used to be the manager of a store here.
Okay.
in Perth.
Undisclosed
And
location, undisclosed suburb,
undisclosed
undisclosed name.
location, undisclosed suburb, undisclosed name. It'll be very easy to figure out if you are from Perth
Okay.
or from Australia in general.
Yeah.
Anyway, he used to be the manager there. He works with me now, and I sort of just said, "Oh man, I can't get a PlayStation 5. I really want it."
Hmm.
And this legend of a man pulled
Hmm.
some strings and got
Hmm.
my name to the top of a wait list. So
Wow.
one random Saturday, I just get a text from this retailer
Hmm.
saying your PlayStation 5 is ready to pick up.
Wow.
Come get it whenever.
Wow.
So I got it. And then the worst part about it is I got it, I set it
Hmm.
up, and then I did not play it for like 8 months. Disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. But that's the story behind it. It's really cool. So thank you to that guy. You know who you are. If you ever find your way to this podcast, thank you so much. Really
That is
appreciate
so
it.
good. I love it how you have like a story, and maybe you should have been in the state of play because that was more interesting than anything announced in the entire thing. I mean, there is no doubt some 13-year-old kid called Little Timmy out there who was like at the top of the list who got bumped off because
Yep.
your mate like rorted you to get in there, and then you didn't play for 8 months. I love it.
Apologies, little Timmy.
Little Timmy no longer subscribes to PGC. That's all right. It was a fair loss. I wouldn't either. So I love that,
Hey
Pat.
man,
I need.
hey man, that is 1/3 of our subscription base there.
Yeah.
If one person unsubscribes,
Yeah, that's
okay,
it.
we don't want
That's it. Come back, little Timmy. Come back. Like Pat will share the PlayStation 5 with you. But you know what? Things haven't changed because you didn't play it for 8 months, and you're not going to play it for another 8 months based on this state of play. There was
Oh,
just like you said, I think it's cool that all the big three brought out their, the big presentations to set expectations this year. Nintendo dropped Metroid Prime, which was just gold,
yeah.
gold for fans and gold for just gamers everywhere. It's sold out on Amazon America already or something like that. I'm pining to get my physical copy when it comes out in
Yeah.
about a week or two. Yeah, it's early March. And then Xbox Shadow dropped Hi-Fi Rush, and it's a great game. It could be game of the year.
Jeez.
And they needed to Shadow
Exactly.
drop stuff.
Sleeper.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
sleeper as well, just like out of nowhere.
yeah, exactly. And then Sony's like, "Oh, we better get our game on and talk about VR and games that are on." Yeah, Suicide Squad. And look, those games might be for someone, but I mean, let's start with Suicide Squad. Like you said, Pat, it looks like a games for service. To me, it just looks like Fortnite with the Suicide Squad skin. And I love the Batman
Oh.
universe. I know it's harsh. Like, I'm into the Batman universe, so
hardening.
haters don't hate. Like, I'm into this stuff. I've read some of these comics. I like the first Suicide and the second Suicide Squad movie. I'm into it. But it just
That will get us some unsubscribes.
there we
That
go.
just says,
Timmy's gone. Everyone's
Suicide Squad
gone.
movies.
Everyone's left.
Timmy's just like, I've had enough, mate. You know, you took my PS5.
Yeah.
Now you're telling me you like the Suicide Squad movies.
Yeah,
show.
exactly. He's like, PGC sucks. You guys
It's
suck.
done. You're done.
He's stuck playing his PS4.
No, yeah, that's right, Timmy. Suck it. No,
But-
I'm just kidding.
But that's like,
You're absolutely right, man.
yeah.
Like, it's.
It wasn't
when I first played
exciting, was
Suicide
it?
Squad, no, well, I was because it was like Rocksteady games.
Yeah.
The Arkham games, the
Yeah.
Batman Arkham games.
Yeah.
You cannot deny the Batman Arkham games are like absolute premium. Like they are top tier games. Like the combat is beautiful. What was the second one? Was it Arkham?
Arkham.
Asylum?
So there's Arkham
Knight?
City, and then there's Arkham Knight, and then there's Arkham Origins. I think it's Arkham Origins is the third one, and City's the second one. Yeah.
Whatever. Not the first one, but whatever the second one was, it was
Yeah.
like the first one was already good, but
Yeah.
the next one was just like I think
That
it's
gave you the
Arkham
whole
Asylum.
city. That gave you like
Or
the whole
Arkham
city.
Knight.
Then
Yeah. Oh man, that was so freaking good.
Yeah.
Just flying around as gliding around as
Yeah,
Batman, like over the city, like landing, like beating the crap out of criminal. Oh my! And like the combat
Yeah.
was so fluid, like the whole
Yeah.
counter system and just the mood, like it was so fluid. It was such fun, and it was a
Yeah.
fantastic game. I mean, I'm pretty sure it won like Game of the Year and stuff like
Probably,
this. But
probably. Like those games are
yeah, like
incredible. Yeah.
they were so good. So like when they were like, the same developers making Suicide Squad, I
Yeah.
was like, okay, this
Yeah.
is going to be fantastic. So I was pretty hyped for it. Not that I'm a huge fan of Suicide Squad, but the game about them in the DC universe is always going to be cool because I love that stuff. And then I saw the trailer, and it's going to be like a live service, and I'm paying full price for a
Hmm.
game, man. Like, why do I need to do that? Like, why? Why do I have to be reliant on that when I'm paying like $120 to own a copy of this
Hmm.
game? You know, like I
Yeah.
want to be able to I want to be able to just play it. And
Hmm.
yeah, like why is everybody shooting guns? Like Harlequin, like no,
Yeah,
I feel
Captain
like he's
Boomerang's flying around like
yeah,
he's flying left,
yeah,
right, and center, and it's like I get that they want the maneuverability fun aspect, and that's why I felt like it's like Fortnite with the skin. I get that's what they
mm,
want to do, but is that what people want? Like people who are following the Batman
I mean,
movies, the Suicide Squad movies, the DC universe, who've got a PlayStation
yeah,
5, or is this what they want? I
yeah. There's
don't
like
know that this is what people actually really want.
yeah, this I feel like the
Hmm.
character maybe it will be better when it comes out, but the characters themselves I feel like had no originality. Like, everybody's like just blasting away with guns and stuff. And I understand it is a
Hmm.
shooter, but
Hmm.
different play styles and stuff like that would be cool. But look,
Hmm.
it's very early days. They're probably gonna
Hmm.
tweak it some more before it actually comes out. Who knows? They might
Hmm.
listen to feedback about it.
Hmm.
Could be good, could be good, but
Yeah. No.
I was
No.
very underwhelmed with the actual. Yeah, I was very underwhelmed with the actual like the fact that it was like covered for 15 minutes as well. Like
Hmm. Yeah. It
it's
was. It was
it's like
strange. It was weird to make that the centerpiece because I'm pretty sure this game's going to be available on PS4 and it's on other platforms, right?
yeah,
Like it's going to be on other platforms, and
yeah,
I'm pretty sure PS4. So it's not like highlighting the PS5 and what to be excited about and to look forward to specifically as a PS5 player, which is what I think these state of
yeah.
plays should do. Um,
Mm.
yeah, and it was I don't know. Yeah, it was just like why would
You can't come to the table with Suicide Squad when the other team has got Tears of the Kingdom. The other
yeah.
team has got like
Yeah.
what was Microsoft's big
Well, they
one?
had Starfield. Like they were not. They didn't
Oh
show
yeah, yeah,
Starfield.
like
Sorry, they've got Starfield coming up, and they said that's coming in another presentation. They had
mm,
Redfall, which is quite big and quite exciting.
yeah,
Yeah, they had Horizon Motorsport, which is massive fan base out there. JB Hi-Fi
yeah,
Rush.
Forza, yeah, yeah.
They had like their
JB
presentation.
Hi-Fi,
JB Hi-Fi Rush.
JB Hi-Fi Rush.
JB Hi-Fi Rush. That's when you know you're in Perth. Like it's like it's JB
That's
Hi-Fi Rush.
geez, that's how you know how good JB Hi-Fi is as well.
Dude.
Goddamn, they like put their name on
But
Hi-Fi
yeah,
Rush.
so for our
That's
for our,
crazy.
for our international listeners, well, listeners out there, I don't know who doesn't have a JB Hi-Fi. JB Hi-Fi is like the best store to go to. Maybe EB Games.
Oh, the best.
JB Hi-Fi is cheaper, and then price match. So yeah, like go to
My
JB to buy
favorite
your
store.
games. Price match always. If you didn't know you could do that already, listeners, go do it because yeah, then you don't need to go anywhere else. Um,
Hmm.
but I don't know the presentation. Like they're like, here's Resident Evil 4 footage. Like that's cool, but that's on the other consoles. Street Fighter 6, that's cool, but that's also not a console
Mm,
exclusive. Whereas Street Fighter 5 was. I don't know. I felt like either Sony's coasting at the moment because I was looking at the sales figures. They're on the rise now that more are available. So they're going to be the leading
hmm.
console seller, apart from the Switches, which has been the leader for a long time. But it will still sell
Yeah.
very well. But I don't know. I just felt like if I wanted to buy a PlayStation 5 today and I'd seen that, I'd be like, well, I guess they've got God of War Ragnarok, which, like they've got some games that are out already,
Yeah.
which you might get, which again, you can play on PS4, although they're optimized for PS5. I just thought it was a letdown for year three for the PlayStation 5 when it's like, they should be in their
Yeah.
element 2 years in, like back in the days with console generations. Once you're a couple of years in, you've got like your prime games coming out that look incredible, you
Yeah.
know?
I mean, yeah, yeah,
Mm,
exactly. No, you're exactly right. I mean, like, look, they might have stuff in the pipeline for later announcements.
yeah.
Like maybe this state of play was just particularly weak. With that
Mm,
said, there are some games in there that legitimately looked very cool.
yeah. What did you think of the
Yeah,
Naruto
yeah,
one,
like
man? Like, what did you think about the Naruto
oh,
Bruto one?
I'm a big fan.
Yeah, me too, man.
I'm
Me
a big
too.
fan of that Ultimate Ninja Storm fighting
Oh,
game.
I
I'm not
love
very good at
it.
it
I
because
love
I'm not
it.
good at fighting games,
Love
but
it. Yeah.
it is great fun. It's great fun. So I reckon that'll be good.
Yep.
I don't know how the story. I didn't really see. They said something about the story in the trailer, but I didn't actually see what it encompasses. But
Yeah.
either way,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a good time. Like you know what you're in for, so that's
Hmm.
always good fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
New characters probably as well. If they have the adult Konohamaru in there from Boruto, that's gonna be a buy for me because I love that guy. So
You're a true
I'll
fan,
buy
man. I
that
haven't
game
watched the
simply for
series.
that guy. I'm a true fan.
Nice.
I'm a true fan, dude. I'm legit. I'm legit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So there's another in there. There's a game in there that I'm not
What's
gonna
that?
lie. This is a bit embarrassing to admit, but I legitimately almost teared up when I was watching the trailer for
Oh,
this
so
game
you got a bit more out of the state of play than
I got a bit
the
more out of it.
average
Yeah. So
PGC fan.
yeah, all three of you guys. Sorry.
Yeah. Timmy's gone. It's down to
But,
2, man.
Jimmy's gone. My apologies. Yeah. No. So yeah, potential to have a little bit of a tear up because it just hit on a soul level.
What's that?
This game called I know it's already out and I knew of its existence, but I just never played it. It's called Before Your Eyes.
Didn't catch that one.
It's the one about the afterlife where they use the eye tracking. They use the eye tracking thing where every time you blink, time fast forwards.
Yes.
So
Yes.
like it tracks your eyes, and just man, the trailer just hit deep. Like the sound, like the background music for the trailer, the narrator's voice, like the actual like story where it's like reliving through his one scene he's like a kid because I'm pretty sure the story is about a dead boy or a dead man.
Okay.
And he's reliving his life, but every time you blink, it like fast forwards. So there's like a scene where he's in the bathtub, he's just playing with his toys as a child. He blinks, and then the next moment he's somewhere else because time skipped. He meets a girl. You blink in like it tracks your eyes in real life.
That's incredible. That's really cool. Like that's actually genuinely
I think they were actually criticized for it because they were like, "What the hell?" Like, yeah, they were criticized for it. I thought it was interesting. Like I said, I knew it was on Steam and I knew it had this technology, but I don't know, for some reason I just never got into it. I never played it. So yeah, one scene, you meet this girl, you start talking, you blink your eyes, you're like married or something like that. So it's very interesting, and the trailer just hit deep. It looks like a good game, but again, not an exclusive. So,
oh, interesting. Like that's
yeah.
Like that actually sounds interesting to me. And I don't know. Maybe Sony's thinking that if they look like they own these games, then people will be attracted to their console to buy them or something. Like, but I mean, for gamers, you got to see if it's on other consoles or your platform of choice. Like. If you were a PS4 gamer now, you could play, I think, every single game that was announced in that trailer. I'm not sure if Kill the Justice League is exclusive though. Did you catch that? I feel like it's.
I didn't. I'm not gonna lie to you. I watched 5 minutes of
it. Even if it's on you don't care. Yeah. I know.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, I'm not even gonna pretend like I watched through that whole presentation. I was just like, oh, this is all right. And then I just sort of moved away.
Yeah.
So yeah. No, you're right. There's still, I can't believe like what PS4 is in what, year 10?
Yeah, 23rd. It's 10 years on, 2013, and they actually started remaking them. I think it was last year because of the shortage of PS5s. Yeah. So. But
year 10 and they're still releasing games for it.
Yeah, I mean, that's great. Like it is, PS4 is one of the biggest selling consoles. It is number 4 after the Switch. So, PS2 and then PS4. So, I mean, that's great. Like, and it's kind of good that people can go buy I don't know how much a PS4 is these days. It can't be more than 400. It'd have to be 300 or something.
Yeah, a few hundred, I reckon.
Yeah, but seriously, like...
If you can still get them, honestly.
Yeah, they're hard to get.
Maybe the PS4 Pros, which would probably be anywhere in the 400 to 600 range, but I doubt they're still mass produced.
Nah,
they would want to.
They want to move on to the 5.
Second hand. they want to start pushing to 5. So now that there's no shortage anymore.
Yeah.
So I don't know how easy it would be to get a PS4 nowadays, or if it's even worth it.
Well, I mean, the thing is, like, I would not, like, I would have said, no, it's not worth it. But, like, these consoles have been out for 2 years now, the next gen ones. If you bought a PS4, you can play God of War Ragnarok. You can play all the latest Resident Evil games.
Yeah.
You can play, like, everything on that list. You can play the Horizon games. You can play The Last of Us Remastered. There are very few exclusives. I think there's, like, Demon Souls. There's a few others, but...
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's great to have a
still get to
PS5,
enjoy
but I
it.
feel like, PS4 owners can sit kind of like Switch owners, like they've got some older games. It's like there's still
sit pretty.
sit pretty enjoy. Like, you know, it's a good time to be a gamer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Chia. It looks like a great game, like you said. It looks like more of a game that belongs on the Switch.
Yeah.
The developers look like they put a lot of work and love into it, so I'm happy to support that. It looks fantastic. The trailer.
You're into it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And Resident Evil 4 is probably the big one for me.
Yeah.
I don't even know if this is a remake. Is
yeah,
it a
yeah.
remake?
Oh, no. It's a remake. Nah, dude.
It's a
Yeah.
remake? It looks.
Don't kill off our
completely
last fan who's
different.
like a Resident Evil 4 like nut.
Hey, I am a big Resident Evil 4 fan. Right?
Yeah.
My dad is as well. I think he owns that game. He finished that game before I did.
Nice.
I watched him play it because I love Resident Evil 4, but I was never very good at playing these scary games.
Oh,
yeah. So this remake, it looks great. It looks great. The original one suffers from really stiff controls.
Yeah.
It was the first. I think it was the first Resident Evil 4, and maybe even one of the first types of its games where it's like over the shoulder.
Yeah.
Cameras over the shoulder, and you're like looking that way.
Yeah.
Stiff controls, really hard. It's not really fluid. Like if you want to turn, you have to stop and turn.
Yeah.
You can't turn while you're moving.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing. But this trailer looks like controls are really fluid. I guess they changed the story because I don't know if you know about the whole Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 5 backlash.
Yeah, I do. Like I know, like I remember when Resident Evil 5 came out, and it was like, I didn't feel comfortable playing that game. I remember going to uni.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, no kidding. Seriously, like I remember like going to uni and playing Resident Evil, like not playing, seeing Resident Evil 5 come out, and I was like, I do not feel comfortable playing this game.
Oh, really?
No kidding. I was just like,
I guess
this is like awkward almost. Yeah.
I guess I'm a heartless person
Yeah.
because I played that game. Yeah. But also, like the backlash they got, because 4 is obviously you're fighting, you know, a minority, like a minority race. 5 again, you're wiping out a minority race. So it's like I can see why they changed the story a little bit to avoid that backlash. Especially now, it's 2023. You'll get absolutely.
They couldn't release a game. They couldn't release a game like that. No.
Yeah, you get slaughtered. So I mean, look what's happening to Hogwarts Legacy.
I know.
It's getting savage. Anyway, story for another time. It looks great, and that's really all I got from State of Play, to be honest. And Baldur's Gate 3, big fan of the Baldur's Gate series, so I'm quite hyped for that. Looks great. I think they're going to do a great job. It has the potential probably to even be RPG of the year, depending on how well it gets released and how well it drops. But
that was probably one of the bigger ones for the State of Play, like the Baldur's Gate 3 announcement for PS5. Maybe that was exclusive.
Not exclusive, though.
Not exclusive. Yeah, what's on PC? It's kind of
I don't
PC,
think so. I don't think... It has to be. Man.
Oh, yeah, no, it was on PC.
You have the IP. It started on the PC. I don't think Sony had the power to be like, no, man, we're taking the whole Baldur's Gate series, making it exclusive. No, I don't think so.
Not if they're putting Suicide Squad front and center. I don't know.
Oh, good lord.
Yeah. But like...
Yeah, so how about you, man? What games did you take out of that, if any?
It just didn't really interest me. Like Resident Evil 4 looks great. All the remakes that they've done, 2, 3, 4 upcoming, look fantastic. So Capcom is a big carrier for them at the moment.
Oh, they carried.
They did. And even Street Fighter, like 3, showing 3 characters that people love. They love Cammy, they love Zangief, and then there's a new one in there as well.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. But again, I just think about new gamers to the PlayStation, or people who have a PS4 going, I'll just get on PS4. And it'll still look pretty, it'll look really good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was disappointed. I wondered if Sony has hit a point with their developers and whether with their timeline where they don't have a lot to put out this year. I'm curious about that because the only really big game that's coming this year is Spider-Man 2 later in the year. I always thought when the PS5 released, I know it sounds like I'm hating the PS5. I think Sony are great. They're clearly a market leader. They create wonderful games. I mean, the last couple of years with the Horizon games, Ragnarok, Last of Us, they do excellent stuff. But I just wonder if this point in time they don't have a lot to release or to announce. And yeah, it may be they're just waiting for PS5s to sell, and people are buying the older games that have come out in the last year or two, and they're like, I'm happy with that. I don't know. I know Nintendo does that sometimes. But yeah, I think it's an exciting year for Nintendo, for Xbox. Xbox in particular, I think, is looking good this year. And then the state of play was just like, I mean, VR is just not mass market yet. It's just not there. And I do think, like, from an Aussie perspective, if you had a PS4 and you're like, I want to buy a PS5 and VR, a PS5 costs $800 or $850 Australian now. That's insane. And then if you wanted to go buy, you want to buy one game, it'll cost you $90 or $100. I know there's the subscription services, but even as a hardcore gamer, if I didn't have something already, I could not justify going out and going, I'll get that for Suicide Squad, Fortnite. No. But you know what I mean? Like for that. Anyway, enough hate on this on the state of play. It was disappointing. And they don't do these often. So I think they really need to redeem themselves next time. And
absolutely,
I don't know. I just feel like the marketing team would have seen what Xbox and Nintendo announced. Like they had that benefit of what do you call it? Like being third place and going, yeah, all right, we're going to do this. And then they did an underwhelming presentation. So that worries me a bit about where they're at.
Well, they might be, they might be a little bit, comfortable or confident, I should say, in that, like, beyond the state of play, there are a few upcoming games on the PlayStation that will probably kick them up a gear and will dominate. Like, for example, friggin' Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Marvel Spider-Man 2, Final Fantasy 16.
Yes, 16
come out this year. So 16, that's got a lot of hype because the director for that is Naoki Yoshida, who is the mastermind of Final Fantasy 14, which is the game that saved Square Enix, the MMORPG. It's probably one of the biggest games played today. Millions and millions and millions of people play it. I personally play it. I sank
my life into it.
I could like, oh man, I can't even get the words out. I continue to sink my life into this game. So it's not even I sank. It continues. So masterpiece, and also the composer for that. So they teamed up again for Final Fantasy 16. So a lot of people are hyped because Naoki Yoshida, or Yoshi P as he is affectionately known in the community, the man is a genius. The man got Square Enix out of the red zone in terms of financially and put them up in the black.
See, that's what they should have put at the state of play. They should have been like, we're working on Final Fantasy 16. Here's a bit more news in the trailer. Like, if they'd done that, Pat, rather than Suicide Squad, would you come off with a different vibe for this? Would you be like,
oh my God, yes, I'm
awesome. I'm keen. Because it's an exclusive too. Like, it's actually on the Sony platform.
It is. So it absolutely is an exclusive. Maybe they're waiting for. There should be another one, right? Not state of play. Maybe like a mid-year one.
Well, E3, that's a whole nother discussion though, because E3, they usually do mid-year ones.
Maybe they're saving. Maybe they're saving their big guns for E3, and that's when they're going to.
Well, not E3 though, because E3 is basically cancelled for the big three. Like, there's been something. Oh. We'll have to go into that another time, but I would say Sony will do their own thing because they've tended to do their own thing around the middle of the year in previous years too. Yeah.
I also don't mean to take credit away from the other
Yeah.
games by saying it was single-handedly done by Yoshi P and Final Fantasy 14, but you know it's known for that. Like they gave them a profit
Yeah.
pretty much. They turned a shit game
Yeah.
into an absolute force of nature that it is today. So the fact that
Mm.
he's heading Final Fantasy 16,
Mm.
there's only great expectations and great hope for it. So
16 looks
maybe that's why
amazing.
they're oh,
It looks
exactly.
so
So
good.
I feel like that's why they're confident to be like, oh yeah, whatever. You know, we just released Theatrhythm Final
Yeah.
Bar Line as well.
Yeah.
Like, oh, sorry, that's not Sony. My
No,
apologies. No,
no.
that's everyone.
That's yeah, but that's on the
But
PlayStation, so like you can get that on the
yeah,
PC if
yeah,
you want it.
exactly. So they're probably like confident. They're like, you know what, we'll make money this year. Just wait. Like
Yeah.
we'll release this subpar announcement. Doesn't matter. We'll get it back later.
Yeah. Fair call. Like there are a couple of big ticket items coming. I think just maybe in the state like where things are now compared to the other in the context of the other showcases. Year 3, it's like okay, wow, and I get the internet's reaction. I saw IGN run a poll and it was like 70% of people were like disappointed and not happy. I was like, yeah, I think that's the vibe of this. Like, yeah,
It is.
yeah, it was.
There's nothing on
Yeah,
there.
it was just like, okay, state of what? Oh God. Anyway, so
Crap.
yeah, like yeah, state of play.
That's
Next time, Pat. Next time they do it.
disappointing.
Maybe we should have just talked about maybe video game tie-ins after all.
No, you can't say that.
Yeah, next week. But that does bring us to like what we're playing, which we feel is more exciting and more interesting, like
so.
compared to like whatever Sony's doing. Sorry, Sony. Like next time, pick it up. You know,
Look, Sony, I am probably the biggest fanboy you will ever have. I love everything you do.
yeah,
Just come on, man. You cannot deny that was. You cannot rewatch that yourselves and be like, "Oh yeah,"
yeah.
and then you watch Nintendo Direct and the other ones, and you're like, "Oh, we absolutely."
Yeah, exactly.
No,
And
let's be honest.
And even what they could have done, like because they've just released Hogwarts Legacy, which is cross-platform, but they've put a lot of on the Sony channels, like put on the Sony channels a lot, and Octopath Traveler 2, which even though that's on the Nintendo channels a bit, it wasn't covered. It wasn't covered exclusively there. Like it's also on the PlayStation. So they could have said, this is out. And these are 2 big, interesting games that people can play now, even if they gave them a couple of minutes saying a great, follow up to a game that was only on Nintendo, now on PlayStation, come to PlayStation. Hogwarts Legacy is getting great reviews. It's probably going to be the biggest selling game, one of the biggest selling in the first half of the year. Yeah, just market that stuff and lean on the third party stuff that's out, and then go, here's what's coming. I don't know. All right. Anyway, enough of that. Oh, I just watched it and I was just like, oh. Pat and I were like, listeners. Pat and I were like, oh god, do we have to cover it? We do have to cover it, but just disappointing, So yeah, what we've been playing, we have played games in between monitoring the gaming industry news. Pat, do you want to share what you've been up to?
Yeah. So just real quick, main 3 games I played this week really. Theatrhythm Final Bar Line. That is incredibly fun on the Switch.
How's that going? Like, are you?
Oh, so good, man!
Yeah.
I just love it. I love it so much. I thoroughly enjoy it. It's a pick up and play game. So if I have 10 minutes where I'm just sitting around, I will grab my Switch and I'll play it. I'll play a few songs and then I'm done.
Nice.
It's awesome. It's a great game. Great game. Final Fantasy 14, as I've mentioned, continue to sink my life into that game. It was having some lag issues, I think, from outside of Japan the past week. I believe that's been resolved, so I'm heavy back into it again. And I've been playing this little indie game called Police Stories. It's like a top-down, almost tactical shooter where you have to make like split-second decisions as described, because your field of vision is only your field of vision in real life. So forwards, maybe a little bit of the periphery. You can't see through walls. You can't see through doors. So if you turn a corner and there's a dude with a gun there, you can shout at him to put it down, or if he raises it, you shoot him. Works on a point system, so you get penalized if you shoot an unarmed person or if they're about to surrender and you shoot them.
That's good. I mean, I feel like that's how police in real life should behave.
It's unauthorized. It's unauthorized use of
Okay.
force, and you get a bunch of points taken off you if you beat them up. Like if you beat them up for no reason and you beat them to death, that's again unauthorized use of force. So you have to try and make them surrender, or you make a split-second decision to shoot them if they raise their pistol. Because if they raise their gun and you shoot them, then you're fine. So it's very clear-cut game. It's good fun. Very easy to die because 95% of the time you get killed in one shot. Which I guess is what happens in real life.
I'm surprised you're playing that because I know you weren't as into those games that had like a really hard kind of like punishment or consequence.
Me too,
but it's good.
A quick restart.
Okay.
You just press a button and you restart at the start of the level, and it's like the levels are literally just like you're infiltrating hideouts.
Okay.
So like you just start at the start of it. You bust through a door. If you walk through a tripwire, you die. You restart.
Yeah.
Think of it as like the movies like Groundhog Day or like Edge of Tomorrow or whatever, but I think it's procedurally
generated. Yeah.
Where each time you respawn is different.
Okay.
So it's good fun. Replayability is high. You do missions. Enjoy it.
How did you hear about this game? Like if you,
I don't know. It just
did it just pop up or
comes up on my Steam. Yeah, it comes up on my Steam feed because like Steam has that AI where it starts kind of like Spotify and YouTube and stuff, the algorithm. So the more you play a type of game, the more it starts recommending you what you like based on the tags of the game you played. So I like pixel art and all this, and that's what Police Stories is. So
cool. I never heard of it, man. Like that sounds really cool. A couple of games for me. I am still playing Fire Emblem Engage, which is kind of a weird one to be playing now because it released early last year, and it's not massive. I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. Just the retelling of the story from the original Fire Emblem Three Houses is really interesting to me. I'm playing through the Golden Wildfire route, which is the Golden Deer House with Claude as their leader. And the directions they take the story are not what you would expect, which is kind of cool. They explore different aspects of what they didn't look at in Three Houses. It's kind of like when you rewrite a book or something and you tell it from a different story, like, oh, I see what's going on, or someone made a different choice. So I find that really fascinating. I'm really liking that. And I'm liking that the characters, like your little crew of like your characters you interact with. They're like they're arguing. They're like, I do not agree with that, or I do not feel comfortable about that, or they call each other out.
They have their own personality.
They're not just like you're amazeballs, like let's go save the world. It's like I'm not happy with that. I don't agree with that.
Or
they're like,
me off, dude.
It's so good. I really like that. It's a little Game of Thronesy. And it's got a really good gameplay loop. Like, you do your 5-10 minute battle, you choose your place on the strategy map. It's really interesting. I don't know. It's not a super high profile game, but for Fire Emblem or Three Houses or Muso fans, get in on it. It's really it's really cool. Yeah. So, and I'm probably 18 hours in, and then I'll be another 10, 20 hours to beat it. I'm not kidding. Like these games are long. It got a bit of criticism for that, but I'm liking it, and the art style is really nice. Like all the little touches they have are really nice. So I'm going to be doing that. The game I picked up recently. Sorry, JB Hi-Fi, we were saying how amazing you are, but picked up this little bad boy. Our discussion about the Cowabunga collection and the original NES game was like, I had my eye on Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge for a long time. Was going to get it last year, had too much to play, and I was like, I need something in between Three Hopes. It's great. It's really good. Have you seen anything about this game at all? Like, did you see
Shredder's Revenge?
Yeah, Shredder's Revenge.
Yeah, I've watched the trailers for it. It looks great.
Yeah, it's good, man. It's just like a modernized beat 'em up of the old Ninja Turtles arcade games.
Yeah.
Which
is the premium one, like the
fun one
style is much. Yeah, the fun one, I should say.
Yeah. No, look, it's done by a company called Tribute Games. So they did Streets of Rage 4.
Yep,
So
great game,
yeah,
great game. So I already know this game is going to be good because those guys did a great job with Streets of Rage 4.
guaranteed, isn't it? Like it's like nah, there's no doubt, and they've done everything right. Like there's the intro. Remember,
Yeah,
like the intro song from the old Ninja Turtles TV shows. Like it's got that
yeah.
with the graphics
The
that you would
theme, does
expect.
it have the theme?
Yeah, the theme, like it's the da da da
Oh,
da 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 da. Yeah, it's like, oh, okay, I remember
yeah.
this. This is the best thing. This is Turtle
That's
Mania.
it. Oh, that's a winner already.
Yeah,
That's a winner.
yeah, you'd buy it just
That's
for
what I
that,
need.
basically.
Yep.
Yeah, and then you can play as all the turtles. Splinter, April. I'm about 4 levels in. I mean, look,
Casey Jones.
Casey Jones. Yeah, Casey Jones is
Can you play
playable.
as Casey Jones?
You got to unlock him.
Yeah, nice.
Like, I mean, they did
Yeah,
talk
that's
about
big.
it in the marketing.
As expected.
Yeah,
As expected.
yeah, exactly. You got to unlock something. Look, it's really good. It's probably better as a multiplayer game though, because even me, as someone who likes side-scroll beat 'em ups, it's hard to get a lot of replay value out of it.
Yeah.
But
Unless you really like it.
yeah, I mean, like it's not a deep game. Do you know what I mean? It's still definitely much an indie game. But it's a good mix up in between long-term strategy game like Three Hopes.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is so good about it though is all the little funny animations that the foot, like your enemy, like those guys with the mask that
The foot soldiers.
yeah, the foot soldiers. So their animations are just hilarious. Like you'll be cruising along, beating people up, and then you'll come across like an ice cream stand, and one of them's behind there with a chef like outfit selling ice cream, and then there's one lining up to buy ice cream and licking ice cream with its mask on. You'll come across like a gym area, and there's like a bunch doing like lying in the sun, or this getting their tan on, or doing push-ups. It's just so funny. Like all the
it's just like it's a live environment. Like they put care into it, which is good.
They did, and it looks great. So I mean, if you like, this game got massive marks, and I hope it sells well. But like anyone who had nostalgia for the Nintendo, like for the Turtles games, the arcade games, whatever platform you played them on, just buy it. It's a lot of fun. The combat system is deeper than the old games. So you do your backflips and you'll do different types of special moves and evasions. So it's more dynamic, a bit more skill based. And the turtles have a bit of variety in their stats and skills, so that's good. No, I'm loving it. You couldn't ask for more. Like when you're like, I want this these days. It's perfect. So
amazing. Yeah, that's what you want.
I know, but that's all I've got. That's all I've been playing. So I feel like we've hit that point where we're out of time for the week, Pat. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I think so. So I have nothing else.
Just like the state of play, we're out of content.
Just like. That's it.
Look, listeners, thanks for joining us. Like it's great. We're up to episode 7. If you're interested in the show, please do do subscribe. Timmy's gone. We need to replace him. Next week, I will say that I'm traveling away for the weekend with my family, so we're not going to do a podcast next week, but we will be on the following week. We have a lot of exciting content to come. We won't say what we're going to talk about next, but who knows? We could talk about movie game tie-ins. I feel like it's on the cards, Pat. What do you reckon? Is it coming up?
Absolutely, it's on the cards. It's coming up. So, yeah, as John said, we won't have one next week. We'll have one the week after. Again, please support us. PerthGamingCrew.com for our website. We're on YouTube. We're on Spotify. Yeah. Feel free to listen to whichever one you like. And that is all for us for this week.
Yeah, all right. And that is PGC over and out. Catch you later.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.